I have to admit that I like cabbage. I know not everybody does, but I like it. I like it especially when it is augmented with butter, cheese, nuts. I have a recipe in my Pop It in the Toaster Oven cookbook. Really nice cookbook to get if you have a toaster oven. And if you don't have a toaster oven, why don't you have a toaster oven? Best kept secret. Anyway, this one is called rolled Chinese cabbage with chickpea filling. In this case, I had Savoy cabbage, which is similar. And it's a wonderful recipe because what you do is you soften the leaves by cooking. And when they're pliable, you put in the filling, make a nice roll out of it, pop it in the toaster oven, and you have a beautiful, beautiful... If you never liked cabbage, this might change you around. 6 or 7 cabbage leaves. And there are 2 ways of cooking them. In my Pop It in the Toaster Oven cookbook, you can put them in a pan like this, cover them with water, broil them for 5 minutes, take a tongs and turn them, and then broil them again for another 5 minutes. Or the stove method, which is a little bit shorter, put the leaves in a skillet and bring it up to boil. In a few minutes, turn them over with tongs and keep on boiling them until they're pliable. Then you're going to take them out and put them on a towel to drain. So in this case, I'm going to use the stovetop method. So this is Savoy cabbage, and I'd already cut some pieces out of the cabbage, so the pieces are rather small, but they'll still make a nice roll. So I have gathered together, I think I have 4 here. I have the just put in a skillet like this, and then I'm going to add 5, 6, I think 7 leaves like this. Just add some water. They don't really have to be covered, just enough so that they... And to hasten the process, as it's heating up now, I'm just going to cover them a little bit, like that. And in a couple minutes, I'll check to see if the cabbage is pliable. All right, well, that took about 4.5 minutes of boiling, and I've shut the burner off, and you can see that the leaves of cabbage are pliable enough now, I think, to make a roll. Out to drain. You can use paper towels. This is a clean dish towel. And then I'll just want to, it doesn't take long, I'll want to turn them over to make sure they're drained on the other side as well. Okay, so here's the ingredients you'll need. You'll need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and that's for brushing the pan and for the rolls. And then you'll need a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. And I have, in the recipe it says ricotta cheese, 2 tablespoons. I have 3 tablespoons of grated Parmesan here, which I think would be just as good an addition. This is a cup of canned garbanzo, or chickpeas as they're called, and they've been mashed. That's about a cup. When you mash them, you'll end up with a little bit more just by virtue of their expanding because of being mashed. Here is 2 tablespoons of, I have in the recipe book almonds. In this case, it's a mixture of almonds and cashews and some dried cranberries from a trail mix, which I think will be quite lovely. And I'm going to put all of these ingredients in the bowl except the nuts, because I'm going to sprinkle the rolls with the nuts. So here's the mashed chickpeas. You can use ricotta, or in this case, grated cheese. Any kind of cheese you like, I think, will be fine. The lemon juice here. And I'm just going to season a little bit to taste. A little bit of kosher salt and some freshly ground pepper. And mix
mix it around really well.
And in this case, because the ricotta has a moisture content and actually the grated cheese doesn't, I'm going to take a little bit of the juice from the cooked cabbage and add it just to compensate for that so that it'll stick together better for the roll. And that's going to be a better consistency. Now I'll just brush the pan with oil. This is a non-stick, but I think it would be good to brush it. While I'm preparing the rolls, I'm going to preheat my toaster oven to 400 degrees. Basically, I put the filling in the middle, like this, and then I'm just carefully rolling the cabbage up, laying it leaf side down in the pan. The leaves are all different shapes and sizes, so in this case I'm just portioning the filling to fit the leaf. I'm brushing each cabbage roll with olive oil. Then I'm going to sprinkle the rolls with this mixture of nuts, in this case some craisins, which should be a nice addition. Cover with aluminum foil. All right, the oven is up to temperature, which is 400. So in goes the covered pan, and I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. Okay, I removed the cabbage rolls from the oven. They were in baking at 400 for 30 minutes and look cooked. Now I'm going to put them back into the oven, and I'm going to broil them for 6 minutes or until the nuts and the cabbage rolls are browned. So let's do the broil setting. And that's going to be for 6 minutes. Well, that was a 6-minute broil, and you can see that by broiling, the cabbage rolls and the nuts, everything got really nice and toasted. So now I guess the next step is to do the taste test. This is the taste test, okay? So, and I'm being accompanied by this taste test today by a wonderful student of mine who is taking watercolor. Wow, that cheese really comes through. I think if I rewrote this recipe, I would put the Parmesan cheese in instead of the ricotta. Just gives it a little more flavor. What do you think?
I think that's very good.
Well,
I like everything about it.
Terrific. Oh, good. Try this. Even if you don't like cabbage, this will change you around.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.